Why did this happen to me? Is a great conversation about a question everyone asks at some point in their lives. When something unexpected or bad occurs, it can leave us wondering why it happened. For example, I've had friends pass away. I've lost homes and businesses, and many other things have gone wrong. When these things happen, it's natural to ask, why did this happen to me? We all face challenges and difficult times. Whether it's losing someone close to us, dealing with betrayal, or facing financial difficulties, these experiences can be very painful and confusing. They make us question why such bad things are happening in our lives. It's a universal experience to feel this way. We want to understand the reasons behind our suffering and struggles. This question isn't just about finding a logical answer. It's about trying to make sense of our emotions and our place in the world. We look for meaning in our hardships, hoping to learn and grow from them. It's a part of the human experience to seek understanding and to find ways to cope with the difficulties we encounter. So, why did this happen to me is not just a personal question. It's something that everyone can relate to. We all have moments when we feel lost, hurt, and confused. By discussing this question, we can share our experiences and find comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. If you haven't asked this question before, you probably will at some point. Let's look at these unusual events through the perspective of Dr. Joseph Murphy's wise words. Dr. Joseph Murphy was a great New Thought teacher who spoke about the power of the mind and the subconscious. I found this information in a lecture he gave and in his book, Maximize Your Potential to Overcome Fear and Worry Through Your Subconscious Mind. Dr. Murphy starts by saying that when life doesn't go as planned and bad things happen, people often ask, why did this happen to me? There is no simple answer to this question. To deal with life's challenges, we need to think in a new way, similar to how experts in different fields use their principles. For example, mathematicians use math principles, and electricians understand electricity principles. Just like them, we need to think from a higher, God-centered perspective. Your mind works on these principles, so you need to think from your inner God center. Think about things that are true, just, lovely, pure, honest, and good. This is real thinking, and it comes from your inner God center. There are principles of harmony, beauty, joy, love, and wholeness. These positive principles are what we should focus on, not discord, ugliness, sadness, hate, or sickness. If sickness were a true principle, no one could ever be healed. But because healing is possible, we know that health and wellness are true principles. When your thoughts are free from fear and worry, you are thinking from your divine center. This is where your connection to God is strongest. God speaks and acts through you, so it's important to use words of wisdom, truth, beauty, harmony, health, and peace. This is thinking from your God center. Many people believe they are thinking, but they are not. True thinking is different from what most of us do every day. Real thinking is creative and free from fear. Fear often comes from things outside of us. These external things are just effects, not the real causes. For example, we might fear losing our job because we are focused on the effect, losing income, rather than understanding the cause, the reasons we might lose the job. If we don't think for ourselves, others will do the thinking for us. This means we might end up following ideas and beliefs that aren't truly our own. To think for ourselves, we must be free from fear. Only then can we see clearly and make decisions that are truly our own. If you don't choose your own mood, who will? Newspapers, headlines, and the collective mind will do it for you. We are all influenced by each other, and if you don't think positively and peacefully, the collective mind will take over. This collective mind often believes in tragedy, misfortune, sickness, and hate. Is that the kind of thinking you want to influence you? If you don't think for yourself, negative thoughts can fill your mind, leading to accidents, sickness, and other problems. When you let others control your thoughts, or when you allow negative ideas to take over, it can have harmful effects on your life. These thoughts can create a cycle of worry, fear, and stress, which can then manifest into real-life problems. Every day, we hear about tragedies like airplane crashes and accidents. These events are not happening because people are bad. Instead, they are often influenced by negative thoughts that come from the collective mind of society. The collective mind is made up of all the thoughts and feelings of everyone in the world. When there are many negative thoughts, they can create an atmosphere that affects everyone. This can lead to mistakes and accidents. People are not born with bad intentions. However, they can be influenced by the negativity around them. It's important for us to try to think positively and spread good thoughts. By doing this, we can help create a safer and happier world for everyone. Many people lose their lives, so it's important to stay prayed up. This means filling your mind with God's truth, which pushes out negative thoughts. The Bible says, "Whatsoever a man soweth, so shall he reap." This means if we think thoughts of peace, harmony, health, beauty, and prosperity, we will get those results. But if we think about sickness, lack, conflict, and strife, we will get those instead. Our subconscious mind is like soil that grows whatever seeds we plant. When we truly believe something, our subconscious will make it happen, whether it is good or bad. Imagine your mind as a garden. Whatever seeds you plant, positive or negative, will grow and become real in your life. If you believe in success, happiness, and good health, your subconscious will work to make those things a reality. On the other hand, if you focus on negativity, doubts, and fears, your subconscious will also work to make those things happen. True thinking is free from fear, worry, and anxiety because it comes from your inner God center. When your thoughts align with God's, His power supports your good thoughts. So you don't ask others, "What were you thinking?" They might not have had any strong thoughts or prayed, and just let life happen to them. The collective mind believes in sickness and disease. This means that many people in society accept these negative ideas as true. However, if you want to break free from these beliefs and live a healthier life, you need to cleanse your own mind. You can't rely on the collective mind to do it for you. Cleansing your mind involves being aware of the negative beliefs and thoughts that you've absorbed from society. Once you recognize them, you can work on replacing them with positive, empowering beliefs about health and wellness. Think of a home left empty for months. It gets infested with pests and falls apart because no one is living there. Similarly, you need to regularly clean your mind, just like you clean your body. Whatever we truly believe, our subconscious will make happen. A hospital chaplain in Massachusetts shared that many patients wonder why bad things happen to them. They think, "Why is God punishing me? I go to church and am kind-hearted. I must have done something wrong." This shows the importance of keeping your thoughts aligned with good and God-centered beliefs. The law of life is the law of belief. What do you believe? To believe means to accept something as true and live according to it. It's important to believe in God's goodness and live with hope for the best in life. Trusting in God's guidance, harmony, and healing power can bring us peace and make us feel whole, pure, relaxed, and perfect. When we have faith in God's goodness, we can face life's challenges with courage and optimism. By trusting in God's guidance, we can find strength and comfort in difficult times. Letting go of worries and fears, we can embrace a sense of peace and wholeness, knowing that we are guided by divine love. The chaplain shared that she often prayed with patients to help them change their beliefs. She showed them that their bodies were spiritual and that changing their minds could change their bodies. They stopped giving power to sickness in their thoughts. She taught them this prayer: "The infinite healing presence flows through me as harmony, health, peace, wholeness, and perfection. God's healing love is in every cell of my being. I am made whole, purer, relaxed, and perfect." She encouraged them to repeat this prayer often, understanding its purpose. In this way, the conscious mind was recording these truths in the subconscious. Whatever you put into your subconscious mind will happen in your life as experiences and events. This is why many patients have experienced miraculous recoveries. The law of life is the law of belief. If you believe strongly in something, it will likely become true for you. For example, if you fear getting sick, you might actually attract sickness into your life. On the other hand, if you believe in health and well-being, you can attract positive experiences and better health. The Lord's law is perfect. This means that what we think and believe has a big impact on our lives. You can't think one thing and get a different result. For example, if you believe in success and work hard, you're more likely to achieve it. But if you doubt yourself and think negatively, you might struggle to reach your goals. The law of life is about what you believe. It's like a guiding principle that shapes our experiences. When we believe in good things, positive outcomes tend to follow. But when our thoughts are negative, we might encounter troubles and challenges. Think of trouble as nature's alarm. It's a sign that we're thinking in the wrong way. Instead of getting discouraged, we can use these challenges as opportunities to change our thoughts and beliefs for the better. Only by changing our thoughts can we find true freedom. Every action has a cause and effect. Nothing happens to us without our mind being involved. Consider accidents, for example. You don't have to think about being in an accident for it to happen to you. However, the thoughts and beliefs we carry can influence our actions and decisions, which may lead to certain outcomes. By being mindful of our thoughts and choosing positive ones, we can shape our experiences in a more positive way. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, but rather focusing on constructive thoughts that lead to better outcomes. Have you ever seen a man driving recklessly, swerving on the road, possibly drunk? You might think, that's an accident waiting to happen. Why? Because there's a person's mind behind the wheel. There's a mood and emotion guiding their actions. There's always a mind involved. If that mind is disturbed or emotionally troubled, it can affect how well they see and react on the road. OSHA, a US government agency for workplace safety, looks into why industrial injuries happen. They focus on companies where injuries happen a lot. Besides engineers who check for physical problems that could cause accidents, safety experts with psychology training talk to workers. They find out that accidents often happen when workers are upset. In companies where bosses are strict and controlling, workers may resent them. This can lead to negative thoughts and careless mistakes, causing accidents. Misfortunes, accidents, and tragedies show that there might be mental or emotional problems going on. We need to teach our minds to think differently, to turn towards God, and to line up our thoughts with God's life, love, truth, and beauty. Then we become like channels for God's goodness. Take moments during the day to calm your mind and say slowly, quietly, and lovingly, God brings harmony, health, peace, joy, wholeness, and perfection through me. God guides me in everything I do. I'm surrounded by God's wisdom and love wherever I go. When you focus on these truths, they become part of your inner thoughts, and they will shape how you see the world. Whatever you deeply believe in your mind will show up in your life. You'll feel like you're always protected by God, your Heavenly Father. He promises to be there for you whenever you need Him. The Bible says, "Call on me and I will answer you. I'll be with you when you're in trouble. I'll lift you up because you trust in me." This means that when you trust in God and call upon Him, He will answer your prayers and provide support. You can have faith that He will be by your side, guiding you through difficult times and lifting you up when you're feeling down. Knowing that you're protected and supported by God can bring comfort and strength during life's challenges. So trust in His promises and lean on His love and guidance whenever you need it. We should all understand how our inner thoughts affect us. These thoughts can shape our feelings, actions, and even our lives. A big part of this is the law of suggestion. Whatever you suggest to someone else, you're also suggesting to yourself. This means that when you give advice or wish something for someone else, it also affects your own thoughts. In a way, you're the only one thinking in your world. Your thoughts create your reality, and they have a powerful impact on how you experience life. So, when you offer guidance or good wishes to others, you're also influencing your own mindset and outlook. Whatever you wish for others, you're essentially wishing for yourself. This is an important idea to remember in life. The golden rule says to treat others well, even those who may not treat you kindly. This means showing kindness, respect, and compassion to everyone, regardless of how they treat you. It's crucial to follow this rule because whatever you think about others, you're also creating within yourself. Your thoughts and feelings not only affect your mind and body, but also your circumstances and even your finances. So instead of harboring ill feelings towards others, it's better to focus on kindness and goodwill. By wishing well for others, you're also creating positivity and abundance in your own life. It's a simple truth. Spread love, peace, and kindness to everyone, and don't rush to judge others. Remember, the way you judge others reflects how you see yourself. This is an important point to remember. Your judgments of others ultimately reflect your own thoughts and beliefs about yourself. It's like a mirror reflecting back your own image. Many people face sickness, accidents, and bad luck because they don't think positively. Negative thoughts from the mass media or common beliefs can control them. These individuals are not necessarily bad people, but they don't think for themselves or stay positive. Instead, they let negative ideas from outside sources influence their thoughts and actions. Without positive thinking or efforts to counteract negativity, they may find themselves facing challenges in life. It's like they're caught in a cycle of negative thinking that attracts more negativity. Think about what you hear in the news, mostly bad stuff like crime and disasters. They rarely talk about the good things. Similarly, if you don't stay positive and think for yourself, you'll be influenced by negative thinking. So ask yourself, am I thinking positively and peacefully? You know the answer. Your thoughts shape who you are and what happens to you. It's like a law. What you think, you get. We're all part of a big collective mind which holds beliefs about sickness, accidents, and other bad things. This collective mindset can influence our thoughts and actions if we're not careful. If we don't think for ourselves, this collective mind will do the thinking for us. This means that we might adopt negative beliefs without even realizing it. Sometimes the negative thoughts from this collective mind can build up in our minds and lead to accidents or sudden illnesses. It's like a cloud of negativity that hangs over us, affecting our lives in unexpected ways. Most people don't really think for themselves. They just think they do. Real thinking means choosing between what's false and what's true. You have the power to say yes or no to things, stick to what's true and good, and reject anything that isn't. You can spend your day thinking positively without anything stopping you. It's all about your mindset and what you choose to focus on. When you believe there's a higher intelligence that responds to your thoughts, you'll find solutions to your problems. This means trusting that there's a greater force at work, guiding and supporting you. Just focus on positive outcomes and trust that things will work out well. By keeping a positive attitude and believing in the power of your thoughts, you can overcome challenges and find success in whatever you do. Everywhere you go, the thoughts and moods of people around you, whether at work, home, or through media like radio and TV, affect your mind. These impressions, whether you realize it or not, can mess up your thoughts. It's like a building that gets neglected. It falls apart. Similarly, every morning and night, take some time to read Psalms, like the 91st, 27th, 23rd, 46th, and the 1st Psalm. These Psalms are like songs from God and can help clean up your mind, just like you clean your body. Just as giving soap to a dirty person suggests cleanliness, paying attention to positive and godly things helps keep your mind clean. Neglecting your thoughts leads to negative outcomes. So focus on what's true, noble, and godly. Over the years, many people with health issues have asked me for advice. Some have serious problems, while others are less serious. In any case, I always suggest they see a doctor for professional medical help. I'm not a doctor or a miracle worker like Elijah or Jesus. But sometimes the real issue isn't physical, it's spiritual. One of the strangest cases I encountered was a woman who had been sick for a while. She believed she was being punished by God because she thought she was a bad person. She even saw someone who hypnotized her and claimed her illnesses were punishment for her past life where she did harm to others. Now she's feeling the effects of her past mistakes, but that idea only made things worse for her. I explained to her a simple truth. There's only one powerful force, God. It's the same for everyone, not different ones for different people. This power shapes itself based on what we believe about it. If you believe in a loving God, then God shows love to you. But if you think God is punishing you, then you feel like you're being punished. It's like the saying, you get what you expect. Basically, your thoughts shape your reality. This woman was trying to find reasons why she was suffering. Instead of looking within herself, she was blaming things outside of her. But usually what happens to our body is because of what's in our mind. I asked her to think about if there's something she feels really guilty about from her past. She admitted that she had a relationship with a married man and felt guilty and deserving of punishment. When you feel guilty, you also feel scared and worried about being punished. It's like you're punishing yourself. Guilt is a really harmful feeling. It's so negative that it can't lead to anything good. These negative feelings get stuck in your mind and can show up as sickness or disease. Her sickness was because of this unresolved guilt from her past. I helped her see that God wasn't punishing her. It was her own negative thoughts that were hurting her. My explanation helped her heal. She forgave herself and spent 20 minutes several times a day saying, God's healing love fills my soul, and I forgive myself for thinking negatively. Her sickness got better, and she returned to a healthy life. Feeling guilty is one of the worst feelings, and it can really harm you. This woman had been hurting herself with negative thoughts for years, but when she stopped blaming herself and started believing in God's healing power, her sickness went away. When you pray, start by forgiving yourself. You can't give love or forgiveness if you don't have it for yourself first. As she forgave herself, she found healing through God's love. In ancient times, people believed that feelings and thoughts came from the heart. It was thought to be the center of emotions and thinking. However, now we understand that it's actually the subconscious mind that plays a big role in our feelings and thoughts. The subconscious mind is like a hidden part of our brain that controls many of our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. This understanding has changed the way we think about emotions and thoughts. Instead of being controlled by our heart, we now know that our subconscious mind has a powerful influence on how we feel and think. Whatever idea you strongly feel and believe becomes true when it reaches your subconscious mind. Your beliefs, assumptions, and convictions in your subconscious control what you do consciously. Your beliefs guide you and shape your actions. What you sow, you reap. It's like a cycle. Your thoughts and feelings have a big impact on what happens in your life. If you think positively and wisely, you're more likely to create a bright future for yourself. However, if you don't think positively and let negative influences from others or the general mindset around you affect you, it might lead to negative outcomes. But there's good news. If you believe in a loving, wise, and good God, that belief can bring blessings into your life. Trusting in God's goodness and wisdom can help you overcome challenges and attract positive experiences. The way we use things determines their effects. Atomic energy isn't inherently good or bad. It depends on how we use it. We can use it in medicine, for transportation, or for harmful purposes. Similarly, other things like electricity, water, and chemicals can be used for good or harm, depending on our intentions. The wind, which can cause accidents, can also guide a ship to safety. How we use things is based on our thoughts and motives. Good and evil are concepts created by our minds. They help us distinguish between what we consider positive and negative actions or intentions. Ultimately, it's our minds that decide how we use the resources and objects around us. We have the power to choose whether we use them for good purposes or for harmful ones. Our thoughts and feelings play a crucial role in driving the outcomes we experience. If we think positively and act with kindness and compassion, we're more likely to create positive outcomes in our lives and in the lives of others. On the other hand, if our thoughts are negative or driven by selfish desires, we may cause harm or experience negative consequences. No matter how long you've been thinking negatively, once you start thinking positively, good things happen. Forget about past mistakes and focus on moving forward. The goal is to have a healthy, happy life filled with peace and joy. Positive thoughts lead to positive outcomes, while negative thoughts lead to negative ones. When you fill your mind with good ideas and eternal truths, they create their own positive energy. These ideas and truths can uplift your spirit and bring joy to your life. Imagine your mind as a garden. When you plant seeds of positivity and wisdom, they grow into beautiful flowers of happiness and fulfillment. When your heart is full of love and your mind and heart work together, your life becomes peaceful and pleasant. Love is a powerful force that can bring harmony and balance to your thoughts and emotions. By nurturing positive thoughts and feelings, you create a positive atmosphere around you. This positivity radiates outward, touching the lives of those around you and making the world a brighter place. Nothing happens randomly in life. Everything has a cause. Even if we can't always see or understand the cause, everything follows the law of cause and effect. This means that every action we take, every event that occurs, has a reason behind it. Whether it's something good or bad, there's always a cause that led to it. Understanding the law of cause and effect helps us make sense of the world around us. It reminds us that our actions have consequences and that we can influence our future by the choices we make today. A man was worried that he might be going blind. He went to see an eye doctor who couldn't find any physical problems like cataracts or glaucoma. But despite no medical evidence of blindness, his vision was getting worse. Today, doctors understand that our mental state can affect our health. Disease often comes from stress, lack of peace, and imbalance in our lives. A healthy mind usually means a healthy body. What happens in our bodies often reflects what's going on in our minds. Emotional stress can even cause physical changes in our eyes, affecting our vision. Instead of just focusing on the eyes, it's important to look at a person's mental and emotional well-being to understand why their body might be reacting this way. In my talks with this man, he often complained about his mother-in-law who lived with him. He really didn't like her and felt angry whenever he saw her. This suppressed anger built up inside him until it affected his eyesight. I explained to him that holding on to negative emotions can mess up our subconscious mind and cause physical problems. His constant thoughts of hating his mother-in-law were taken seriously by his subconscious mind, which then made his vision worse. So I suggested that it might be best if his mother-in-law lived somewhere else. They arranged for her to move to a nearby senior citizen facility, but just moving her out wouldn't fix everything. He needed to let go of his hatred towards her. I advised him to pray for her and wish her well, sincerely releasing his negative feelings. He did this regularly, genuinely wishing her all the best. As he did this, his eyesight started to get better. Eventually, he could think of her without feeling angry, and his vision returned to normal. His eye doctor confirmed that he had indeed solved his problem. Remember, you are what you think all the time. Our lives are shaped by our thoughts. You don't want to be influenced by the irrational mass mindset, right? If you are not thinking for yourself, ask, who's controlling my thoughts? It's important to check if you are making your own decisions and thinking clearly based on godly principles. The law of the mind works based on what you believe. This means you can't avoid the effects of your thoughts. If you fill your mind with positive, godly thoughts, your life will reflect that positivity. Make sure your thoughts are truly your own and guided by good principles to shape a better life for yourself. Years ago, English sailors suffered from scurvy, a type of illness. They blamed it on the salted meat they ate, as well as heart attacks and other issues. Then, someone suggested they eat limes and lemons rich in vitamin C, and they got better. But you see, that was because of ignorance, carelessness, and not paying attention. They didn't realize that they could find oranges, apples, limes, lemons, and other citrus fruits on the islands and countries they visited during their long voyages. The problem wasn't the lack of fruits. It was a lack of knowledge and care. Ignorance doesn't excuse the consequences. It was carelessness and not paying attention. People often blame their sickness on things like the weather, bad luck, or other reasons. Many believe that invisible things like viruses can make us sick, but don't believe in God, even though they can't see Him. Sometimes we believe strange ideas that aren't true. For example, some think sitting near a fan can give them a cold or make their neck stiff. If we believe these things strongly, they can actually make us sick. But millions of people sit near fans every day and don't get sick. Similarly, many go outside at night and get their feet wet without getting sick. It's like when your mum might have warned you that getting your feet wet could make you very sick. But it's actually our belief in these warnings that can make us sick, not the water itself. What we believe often becomes true for us. Your faith can work in two ways. You can believe in invisible viruses making you sick, or you can believe in the invisible spirit within you bringing harmony, health and peace. Since God is within you and cannot be sick, you too are healthy. You are a child of God, and His presence within you is your reality. When you focus on the positive power of God's Spirit inside you, you invite health and peace into your life. Believing in this inner strength helps you stay strong and well. Trust in the presence of God within you, and let this belief guide you to a healthier and happier life. Emerson, a famous thinker, believed that humans often feel like their destiny is out of their control because they don't understand the cause behind it. In other words, we might feel like our lives are governed by fate or luck, but Emerson suggested that there are underlying reasons for everything that happens to us. According to Emerson, once we understand the cause behind our circumstances, we can take control of our destiny. This means that by understanding the reasons behind our experiences, we can make choices that lead to the outcomes we desire. Emerson's idea reminds us that while we may not always see the cause behind our destiny, we have the power to shape it through our actions and decisions. By taking responsibility for our lives, we can create the future we want. However, our subconscious mind holds the key to what will happen to us because events are just the result of our thoughts. Whatever we deeply wish for ourselves usually comes true. In the Bible, the devil represents ignorance or misunderstanding, particularly about God and life. It's like seeing God in a negative way, which is not accurate. The idea of the devil as a creature with horns and a tail is a scary image that people have created over time. But in reality, evil doesn't always come from external sources like a scary creature. Instead, it often originates from within us. Sometimes it's easier to blame external forces for the bad things that happen or the negative thoughts we have. However, if we believe that God is everywhere, then it makes sense that God is also within us. This means that we have the power to choose between good and evil. We can't just blame external forces for the bad things that happen. We have to take responsibility for our own actions and thoughts. For instance, a man got hurt in the jungle and prayed for someone to come save him. Suddenly, a hunter in the jungle felt like he should go a different way. He found the injured man, helped him, and took him home. The injured man's prayer for help and the hunter's change of direction were guided by something inside them, like a wise instinct. It's like the same guiding force was at work in both of them. What happens to you is often what you believe will happen, and your beliefs are just thoughts in your mind. There's no outside force trying to lead you astray or harm you. People often blame their sickness on things like the weather or even accuse others of using voodoo against them. But no one outside yourself has that power. The power of God is within you. If God is on your side, who can be against you? If you spell live backward, you get evil, which means living life backward. Evil is the opposite of the life force, which is God. God wants to express love, joy, peace, and order through you. God's plan for you is beyond what you can even imagine. The wrong thoughts in your mind are like enemies, sometimes called the devil or Satan. They can cause trouble like conflicts and hatred. These thoughts are like letting bad guys take over your mind. If you don't believe in the goodness of God or in love, those negative thoughts can cause your problems and suffering. But God, or the life force, doesn't punish or judge. Good and bad come from our own thoughts. It's outdated to think that God punishes us, or that there's a devil tempting us. Our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality. What you agree to in your mind is what happens. People of all ages often express their thoughts and emotions through their words and actions. These outward expressions can give others a glimpse into what we're thinking and how we're feeling. However, many people don't actively control their thoughts in a positive way. Instead, they allow their minds to be influenced by negative ideas from others. This collective mass of negative thoughts includes fears, jealousy, and other harmful ideas. When we let these negative thoughts dominate our minds, they can affect our behavior and the way we interact with others. We may become more prone to feelings of anger, resentment, or sadness, which can have a negative impact on our relationships and overall well-being. There's a story about a man who got fired by his boss and wanted to shoot him. He planned to hide near the factory and wait for the right moment. But one day, as he was sneaking into position, he tripped and accidentally shot himself. Some called it an accident, but it wasn't. He had murder in his heart, and that led to his death. The 10 Commandments say, "You shall not murder, not you shall not kill." That's because of a mistake in translating the original text. When you look at the original text, it says, "Don't commit murder." It's saying that murder starts in your heart. When you hate or hold on to resentment, you're killing things like love, peace, and kindness. If you keep on hating and resenting, those feelings build up in your mind and eventually come out as something harmful, like cancer or a tragic accident. But there are no accidents. Everything has a cause. Whether it's a car, a train, or even a gun, it's the person's feelings and mood behind it that matter. A gun itself is just metal. It's how it's used that makes it harmful. The man who wanted to shoot his boss had been full of hatred for a long time, and his subconscious mind responded to that. The Bible says, "Nothing happens to me unless I bring it on myself." Your thoughts and feelings create your reality. If you believe in the protective power of God, you won't find yourself in dangerous situations like a train wreck or a plane crash because harmony and discord can't exist together. It would be simple to think that changing from negative to positive beliefs could cure all illnesses and disabilities, but that's not the case. Many health issues have physical causes. Some health problems are closely connected to our thoughts and feelings. Believe it or not, changing those negative thoughts can actually help reverse these health issues. This phenomenon has been observed in many different places and times. Guilt, worry, and fear can act like germs and viruses in our minds, spreading negativity and affecting our well-being. These negative emotions can manifest as physical symptoms, leading to health problems such as headaches, stomach issues, or even more serious conditions. However, by addressing and changing these negative thoughts, we can support our overall health and well-being. Cultivating positive thoughts and emotions can boost our immune system, reduce stress, and promote healing in the body. By replacing those negative thoughts with faith, confidence, and belief, healing can happen faster. Sometimes these changes aren't dramatic. They might help with things like trouble sleeping, allergies, headaches, or feeling down. Other times they can help with more serious issues like tumors, paralysis, ulcers, or heart disease. When we're sick, we often blame others or circumstances. But the real cause is within us. We have control over our thoughts. Others might influence us, but ultimately, it's up to us to decide what we accept into our minds. Let's stop blaming others and look within ourselves for the cause. If we believe in God's goodness and love and trust in God's guidance, we'll find peace and pleasantness in our lives because our beliefs shape our reality. People often ask me about children. They wonder how kids, who are so innocent and unaware, could end up in dangerous situations like fires or accidents at sea. But children are always watched over by their parents, who are given love by God. Just like animals take care of their young, parents are meant to nurture their children with love and kindness. Children grow up influenced by the atmosphere of their home, shaped by their parents' thoughts and feelings. They may not understand everything yet, so it's up to parents to guide them. Children are precious to God, and His love fills their hearts as they grow in wisdom and goodness. Parents have the important job of leading their children through life's challenges, teaching them about God's love and care. When children are raised to believe in God's love and protection, they thrive, and God remains with them always. In simple terms, when you think without fear and worry, you're tapping into your inner divine wisdom, where God guides your thoughts and actions. This means you speak with wisdom and kindness, promoting harmony and peace. But if you let negative thoughts from the mass mind take over, filled with fear and disaster, they can bring about accidents and illness. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you fear sickness, you might attract it, but if you focus on good health, you're likely to stay healthy. Trouble is like a warning sign from nature that our thoughts are off track, and only changing our mindset can bring relief. Feeling guilty and condemning yourself is harmful. Instead, accept that God's healing power is within you, present in every part of your body. Your beliefs shape your reality, and no external force is trying to harm you. Trust in the power of God within you, and you'll find strength and protection. Guilt, worry, and fear act like harmful germs and viruses in our minds and bodies. These negative thoughts can make us feel sick and stressed. But when we replace these negative thoughts with faith, confidence, and belief, it helps us heal faster. Positive thinking has a powerful effect on our health. Instead of feeling guilty, worried, or afraid, try to focus on believing in yourself and having faith in good things. This change in mindset can improve both your mental and physical well-being, helping you feel better and live a healthier life. One key point Joseph Murphy mentions is the importance of our thoughts. Murphy teaches us to focus on positive things like wisdom, truth, beauty, harmony, and health. He talks about finding our divine center by getting rid of fear, worry, and guilt from our minds. The lecture also discusses the idea of the mass mind, which is basically the collective thoughts of everyone. If we don't control our own thoughts, the mass mind can influence our reality. This influence comes from things like the media, social media, and politics. It's important to think for ourselves and not just follow what everyone else is saying or doing. When we let others control our thoughts, we lose our own sense of reality. Another important point is that when we wish harm on others, it reflects our own feelings and can affect us negatively. Negative thoughts about others can come back to harm us. When you feel really mad at a politician and wish bad things upon them, like getting sick or worse, remember they're just like you. They have feelings, families, and struggles too. The same goes for people you see on TV who make you angry. They are also human, just like you. They have their own lives and challenges. It's important to remember our shared humanity. Instead of wishing harm on others, try to understand that they are people with their own experiences. By doing this, we can keep a more positive and compassionate mindset. The lecture talks about the devil being a misunderstanding of how things work. It's like a mistake in thinking. If you're scared of getting sick or other bad things, you might actually attract them. The talk also touches on guilt, which can really weigh you down. I felt guilty about things I've done in the past to the point where I couldn't do anything. But when I was forgiven by someone else, it helped me forgive myself too. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. It made me realize I was holding myself back from success because I didn't think I deserved it. We all have things that make us feel guilty. Some people can feel guilty about things that might seem small to others, like cheating in a game when they were younger. But for them, it's a big deal. We need to let go of the past and forgive ourselves to move forward. So try to let go of your guilt, worry, and fear. They're like viruses spreading everywhere, even if you're careful. They can affect you without you even realizing it. So protect yourself by thinking positively and focusing on good things. That's the best way to stay healthy mentally and emotionally. I understand that bad things happen to everyone, and I'm not trying to minimize anyone's experiences. Sometimes bad things just happen, no matter what. But there are times when bad things happen because of our thoughts, even if we're not actively thinking about them. If we let go of our worries and stop thinking about the future, the mass mind can take over our thoughts. The mass mind has been behind events like race riots in the past, and it tends to repeat these patterns. If we let the mass mind control our thoughts, we might get caught up in these negative cycles. So it's important to think for ourselves and not let the mass mind dictate our thoughts, even though it can be easy to do so. When you're about to board a train and feel uneasy, it could mean in another reality you've had an accident. It's like tapping into your inner wisdom, your connection to the God self within. Your heart knows all the possibilities in the universe and can guide you away from harm. That's why many people left the buildings during 9/11 their intuition told them to. Many individuals have shared accounts of narrowly avoiding accidents by heeding their intuition. Surprisingly, there's even a study suggesting that fewer people board trains before accidents occur. These individuals seem attuned to their intuition, which is essentially their connection to the divine or their higher selves. Tuning into this intuition allows them to sense the flow of possibilities in the universe, giving them a subtle guidance that lights the way just ahead, helping them avoid misfortune. However, fear can distort this perception. When we're consumed by fear, it clouds our judgment and distorts our connection to this intuitive guidance. That's why it's crucial to focus on cultivating joy, happiness, and wonder in our lives. Even if it initially feels forced, shifting our focus towards positivity helps to clear the mental fog of fear, allowing us to better perceive this intuitive guidance. If maintaining a positive mindset proves challenging, one effective strategy is to use affirmations or prayers. These tools serve as a bridge to redirect our thoughts from fear to positivity. While it may seem artificial at first, the repetition of affirmations or prayers gradually rewires our thought patterns, making it easier to maintain a positive outlook and align ourselves with the guiding wisdom of our intuition. Thank you for listening.